So, oh fuck, I forget the intro. You gonna start over?
No, just keep going. I could cut it. Look into the camera and say the intro.
Oh, okay.
You remember it?
Yeah, I remember. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Share the Backline, the podcast where two washed-up local musicians wax poetic about past and present gripes, triumphs, and the mundane. I am your host, O'Brien.
And Beardley?
So this is the first episode, so we're going to talk about the kind of explain what the podcast is all about, what we're hoping to accomplish with the podcast. It's going to be us just talking about old stories, about playing in a lot of different bands and playing a lot of different shows, playing with a lot of different bands, some that made it, some that didn't, but still had an impact on our lives in one way or another. I feel like, all these bands that made millions of dollars and played fucking stadiums and had all these world tours and everything, they always get that treatment and respect. But we were influenced by a lot of local bands too, a lot of local musicians that helped us along the way and that we knew personally, and we're hoping to have a lot of them in to talk with us and let us know what they've been up to, new projects, life, people having kids at our age and getting married. Not me, but,
He's talking about me.
A place where you can kind of catch up with your old friends and those people that sang those songs at Chain Reaction on a random Tuesday at 6 o'clock. You had to buy a ticket off of the bass player or whatever, because there was a 50 pre-sale.
Come on, man, it's $10.
Or you just bought it to support him. You didn't even go because you had class early in the morning. So all those people, that shaped that scene and shaped that time in our lives, we'll give them the respect and try to be good custodians and historians to that time in our lives.
Yeah, but along with that, O'Brien and I, we actually work together now. So
yep,
we've been talking about doing this podcast for a couple months now, and just getting the gear ready and thinking about what we're going to talk about. And so it's going to be a lot of what O'Brien said. That's the plan. We definitely want to do that, shed some light on some old local heroes, but also, when we can't get people in, a lot of it's going to be just us shooting the shit, going over our stories and, talking about like just stuff that happens, like locking your keys in the truck,
which happened yesterday. Yeah, and that's where the mundane part comes in from, the gripes and the mundane. Things happen in our lives, not always pertaining to music, but so let's jump into it. So we met. I was playing in a local band called Wolves, and Andrew was in Wounded Saints at the time.
I think it was October Drive at the time.
It was October Drive?
Yeah.
Wow. But the story gets interesting. So we started working together, right? We've been friends. We were playing shows together in maybe like 2012, 2013-ish.
10, 12, 13.
Yeah.
I know Wounded Saints came out in 13 because we wanted to have we had a song named 2013. So
yeah, there you go. That'll fucking date it.
Hey, but it was cool though. It was Roman numerals. And
oh, sick. No vowels.
No vowels, just Roman numerals, man.
Yeah, the A's were actually V's. So we kept in contact ever since then. I ended up needing a job, and Andrew hooked me up here. We actually worked a full shift today, so that's why we have the coffee going. But while we were driving around, during our shift, he actually brought up a funny story of when we really met, which I had completely forgotten.
Yeah. It wasn't until like a couple weeks in, when O'Brien started working here, when I really mentioned to him that we met in like 2007. So I had just I started playing guitar late. I started playing guitar like end of my junior year, going to my senior year, but didn't take it really serious because I was playing baseball at the time. And right after baseball, I started learning a lot more. I'm like, I want to be in a band. Like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to play music. So I started practicing, finished school, and then I think it was MySpace, just looking around, and I messaged this guy named Ash because he was looking for a guitar player. And he's like, oh, come down, try out. So I go with my little Line 6 amp, my guitar. I think it was like an Epiphone Les Paul. And sitting behind the drums was O'Brien. And I remember distinctly his bass drum head. It was the 6-shooter. So, it was his bass drum head
What a douchebag.
with 6 drum rings, chrome drum rings around it.
I thought it was so cool.
I thought it was cool too, but I didn't know anything back then. I was still like 17. I think my wife was with me too. Now that I remember it,
Yeah.
I think she was there with me.
Future wife.
Future wife. Yeah, but that's when me and O'Brien first met, and I never got a call back. And then a couple of years later, we're playing shows together, talking about this guy he met on the subway, secretly recording, yelling at his girlfriend or something like that.
Yeah, I wasn't driving at the time. I would take a lot of train rides. You meet a lot of interesting characters taking the train ride from the Mendick station in East LA to was it Little Tokyo or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
So like you said, just after that, playing in bands together, or not together, but like bands that played together, and we were really good friends with Wolves, and just got to know each other, spoke on Instagram, and hooked them up with a job, and now we're here and doing this podcast.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
I've never. It's so funny because, you're gonna have to do all the editing and stuff because I'm just like looking at my face and hearing my own voice is fucking terrifying to me. I was telling Andrew, like, he wanted to start a band. And, he's a little bit shy about singing. He's never sung in a band. But those of you that know me, if you follow me on Instagram, or whatever, you've never seen a video of me speaking into the camera. So this whole thing was his idea. So it was a big ask for me, but yeah, this is fucking a blessing to have something set up. Like, he went out and got all this shit for us to do this podcast and to have a place where we can put all our ideas out and just have a place to talk about things. And I'm really excited to have like some old friends on here.
Yeah, we've been making a list, checking it twice. It's almost Christmas, so that's a good reference.
Yeah. It's November 1st. So,
2nd.
So November 2nd? My bad.
Today's the 2nd. My birthday is in 6 days.
Nice. And you'll be turning
29 again.
29 again? Nice. Yeah, but we've been talking to people from the scene, old musicians, and it's fun to hit them up and let them know about the podcast, and they kind of get excited about it, and realizing that some of them are still out there doing stuff, and it's gonna be exciting to see like a musical progression and a life progression, to see how their music changes along with starting families and buying a house and doing all those grown-up things, or not, or still like living that life, struggling. I know I'm not fucking I know I'm still like clawing at success or whatever, trying to reach that pinnacle, that mountaintop. But I'm really excited for that to play that historian to that scene that we
Yeah,
we,
to be the voice for our local heroes, man.
Yeah.
There's so many local bands that at the time I was kind of jealous of, because I'm like, man, I want to be doing that. I want to be playing those shows. I want to be recording this. I want to do that. But now that I look back on it, it's like, I don't know if it was so much jealousy as more as like I was looking up to those guys. Like, these local guys can do it. Like these kids from Whittier are doing this. These kids from, Orange County are doing this. So, I'm super stoked to be here and doing this in our temporary home. This is we're still working out some details like for where we're going to record full time, but at least for now it's going to be here. We're actually in our work office, which is nice because there's nobody else here. It's just us two. Mm-hmm. And with approval from our supervisor. So yeah, man, I'm super excited. I see you got your outline. What else do we got going on, man?
Yeah, well, we were talking about when we officially met in 2007. But so in 2007, I was already 5 years out of high school. Oh, oh my God.
See, his birthday's in December, and he's not going to be 29. He's going to be like...
I'm going to be 30. So,
I think it cut out. I'll have to check the edits later.
Yeah, you can try to get the, what is it? Fucking never mind.
I'll crack the code. And by the way, guys, if you see me looking down a lot to my left, it's because I have the mixer right here. We don't have a producer or anything. It's our first podcast, so it's going to be like this for a couple shows.
Yeah,
no big deal.
Until we get some fans that are producers as well and would like to come help us, help these two dopes who don't know what they're doing.
I kind of know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's true. Andrew's twitched and he knew what to buy and all this stuff and the mics and everything. And I just said, okay, just went along for the ride. But yeah, man, we're getting old. All right, let's. So
you were talking about like the time we first met. You were already 5 years out of high school.
Yeah. So no, I'm just realizing how goddamn old I am. That was 15 years ago, a whole decade and a half. So yeah, we got all the housekeeping stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
This is Andrew. I'm O'Brien. Also Beardley.
Yeah. I think just because of the Twitch thing, like Beardley might have a bigger reach to those kids. It's all about the clicks, baby. It's all about, no.
Yeah. See, another thing I have no idea about. So yeah, well, we'll just get into the episode, so you guys know what it's all about, what it's going to kind of lead into, and what we're trying to get to. So I have a gripe actually. So I don't know about. I don't know too much about like algorithms and stuff like that. It's just like a buzzword that I hear all the time about algorithms and this and that. And Instagram's been kind of acting funny. I'm old, so bear with me. I don't know all the terminologies and everything, but I can see like when you click on Instagram and you see what is that, like a For You page or whatever, or the search or whatever, where you see random things.
The Explorer page.
The Explorer page. So I've been seeing a lot of like older ladies. So I was talking to Andrew about it. It's kind of random. So for me on my Instagram, it's usually like, I don't want to sound like a douchebag, like a jock or anything, but it's usually like working out stuff, drums, off-road things. Because I've been talking to Andrew about this. Been thinking about getting I live in the mountains, so I've been thinking about getting like an all-wheel drive thing. So I'm sure it's like listening to keywords that I've been saying or typing. So it's been showing me like a lot of like Subarus and Tacomas and stuff. So it's that, drums, hockey. And then all of a sudden I'm starting to get like, I don't know what I'm saying or what I'm typing, but I've just been getting like old ladies that kind of seem like they're like, trying to be sexy or something, which is fine. I'm not like an ageist or anything, but it's just such a random thing to start seeing on my feed. And I was talking to Andrew about it, like, who is clicking this stuff, or who am I following, or what am I doing? And Andrew's a little more tech savvy, so I was trying to figure out like what I can do to stop it, or or to find out who's doing this to me.
I don't know, man. He's always showing me these pictures, and he's like, "Dude, look at she's just standing there." 11,000 likes on this post, like.
Yeah, crazy likes, crazy views, like thousands of followers.
And so we came up with, or you came up with the name with what do we?
Oh yeah, we call it Only Grands. So it's like they're promoting, like I don't see any sneaky links, as they call them, on their pages or anything. But it's just bizarre. I don't even know how I can have you guys like search that or anything. Just if you guys follow me, you might start seeing them too, because if you follow me, and then what's messed up is that I'm so mesmerized by it, by the randomness of it and the why, that I'll sit there and I'll stare at this thing, and I'll be showing Andrew, and then we're talking about it, so they're hearing me talk about it more, so it shows up more and more on my feed. So it might start showing up on yours if you follow me. But that was a gripe I had, and then I started. I'll start sending them to Andrew so they could start showing up on his feed, so I can start messing up his algorithm. But I don't even know if that works. Maybe you know.
It might. I mean, you talk about it so much now. Like my phone's like, oh, this guy wants to see random old ladies not being sexy, just standing there and dancing and wishing everybody a good day. It's the type of lady that'll like offer you a hard candy or something.
Yeah, a nice little Werther's butterscotch.
Yeah. Like, here you go. I'll give you $1 too for your birthday.
So somebody here, was it you that told me to check their followers?
I think so.
And somebody gave me a good pointer, like check their followers, and the followers look like bots as well. So I keep clicking the table. See, I want to be in episode 80 where we know like what not to do and what to do, and
yeah.
But yeah, to check their followers, and it seems like they're all bots and stuff. So yeah, that's my gripe.
Yeah. Well, it was me that told you to check the followers, only because like on Facebook with the recommended friends, like the ladies wearing close to nothing, you could see all the pervs that are their friends and stuff. And
yeah, that's what I was doing. I was trying to, because it'll show you like who's like mutual followers or whatever, who's following or who like to post, but I don't see anything. So I'm like, where are these things coming from? I just want to get back to drums and hockey and workout stuff and off-road vehicles.
Guitars, Dodgers baseball.
Yeah, exactly. So we kept doing that. I'll grab his phone sometimes when he's out and look at him and be like, sexy old ladies. Old ladies.
See, he just did it to himself right now.
Yeah, I know. It's my phone. God damn it. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse. So yeah, when
Sorry.
we intro the pod with gripes, triumphs, and the mundane. So there's a little gripe / mundane, but you recently had a triumph of sorts. You had a nice, you had yourself a weekend day.
I wouldn't call it so much a triumph. It kind of evened out
Because it was 4 days off is a triumph at our age.
But the week I had 2 days off plus the weekend.
Yeah, all right.
So those, but yeah, I went to When We Were Young. The first weekend, not this past weekend. I had tickets for Saturday.
Oof.
And if you guys don't know, they canceled the show on Saturday. 60-mile-an-hour winds. It was just super unsafe for everybody. So they're like, sorry, within the next 30 days, we'll give you a refund. Like, come back next year, even though it's sold out. But, I still got my tickets because I got to see Blink. But, yeah, I was lucky enough. My sister and my brother-in-law, they hooked me up with a ticket for Saturday or for Sunday. It was interesting. When this lineup first got announced, everybody's like, "Oh, this is Firefest 2.0. This is a scam. There's no way."
Yeah, I remember telling people that, like, I don't know, I've been hearing it's a scam.
Like, there's just too many bands. It's not going to work.
Guilty. Yeah, I'm guilty.
The way it was put on, though, like, I give those people props. Like, everything, like, they had the lineup and everything went according to plan. Now, the sound was a little off. One, because it was still windy, so it was blowing the speakers back and forth. So if you're standing far behind, like you'll hear it in like waves almost.
That's weird.
But like towards the end of the night, it started like calming down, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it was like clockwork, dude. The main stages, one band would play, and the next band would be setting up on the other stage. As soon as that band A's done, band B will start playing, and then they start tearing down band A set, setting up, the next band C. As soon as band B, like the main stage,
the drum rotates.
Well, that was the smaller stages. So they had the two main stages where they would tear down stuff and put stuff up. Because some of the bigger bands like Mike Chem, which closed it out, Paramore, A Day to Remember, Bring Me the Horizon. Bright Eyes was like a headliner. They all had their own thing going. Like it was like a concert because I think they all performed for like 45 minutes to an hour. So they had their performance stuff up. The smaller bands, it's just set up your backline on this rotating platform. As soon as you're done, like it just rotates you around, and the next band's ready to go. But they were doing the same thing, like sharing the stage and stuff, or going back and forth. Saw a lot of good bands. Checked one thing off the list is seeing Sailson with Anthony Green. Like,
yeah,
it took me about an hour to get in. Luckily, I got there early enough, right before Sailson went on. Saw them with Anthony Green, and it was just electric. Even though the sound was not that great, like just seeing him. And,
you know what they're playing.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. And they were on the main stage too, so that was cool. Who else did I saw so many bands.
So Glassjaw, right?
Glassjaw was amazing. I saw Treyu, which was kind of weird because the drummer was the singer, but now he's not playing drums; he's just singing. And
oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
yeah, and he had like this weird trench coat thing on, and I mean it's still Treyu, I guess. Yeah. But so I saw Treyu, saw Hawthorne Heights. Hawthorne Heights was amazing. He brought up his daughter, and I'm like, got all sentimental.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's so cool. Yeah, it's like,
oh, it's home.
Yeah, he's like, I want to create memories with my daughter and this and that. Like that's something I strive to do, and with all my kids, 3 of them now, so it's like Jesus. But yeah, Hawthorne Heights, the starting line was awesome. Glassjaw again was amazing. I was like at the gate for them. Census Fail, like I am a huge Census Fail fan. Like Census Fail was my favorite band for years, still is. Like I love everything they do. They put on an amazing show. Like that was they had the first like big crowd that I saw at the festival. Like just so many people, everybody singing along. They did some awesome covers. During Bite to Break Skin, there's a break. And usually like during that break when Heath from Midtown was in the band, during that break when they played live, he would play Cowboys from Hell.
Oh, nice.
So I guess, Buddy took that, it's all new musicians and it's just Buddy. So he took that and, they covered Chop Suey. They covered Bulls on Parade. They covered Break Stuff from Limp Bizkit. And there was one more. I don't remember which one it was. I remember seeing a video and people were like, oh, that's weird. I'm like, no, that was freaking cool. But at the end of the set, so they did that during Bite to Break Skin, that break, went back into Bite to Break Skin, closed it out, and then they were just played the solo to Freebird. And they're all standing on the platform, soloing away, and then the stage starts to rotate, and they're done. Like, it was so sick.
Yeah. What a set.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Like, they covered those songs. It's almost like a picture of a picture, It's like when we were young. So it's like, they were from a different time, and then they're covering songs from like the '90s from a different time, and then they go all the way back as far as like Leonard Skinner. So it's like a prism of
Yeah.
music, of
Yeah.
musical genres, or progressions of rock. You know?
Yeah. I saw some bands as well that like I didn't plan on seeing. I saw AFI. AFI was cool. You know, just seeing him singing was insane.
Yeah, they're. I remember seeing AFI. Seeing them outdoors is. I've seen them indoors and I've seen them outdoors, and seeing them outdoors was just like, I don't know, there's something to it. Like AFI, like for like a magnetic, you know, on stage.
I'm trying to think who else I saw. Like I'll save the set of the night for me for the last. I'm just kind of trying to remember who I saw. So I said the starting line: Sisters Fail, Treyu, Glassjaw, Day to Remember. I saw Day to Remember. I saw Bring Me the Horizon. They put on a show. A lot of like technical, like moving pictures and everything, which was really cool.
Yeah, you'd expect that from them.
Yeah, and then A Day to Remember, awesome, as always. Bright Eyes, I think the guy was drunk, the main singer. I don't know.
Connor Oberst.
Yeah, like I don't know. So I was just waiting in line.
Probably a
Just
safe bet.
I was just standing there because Paramore was after him, and then after Paramore was My Chem. So yeah, all in all, it was a really, really fun night. A lot of standing, a lot of walking around. Had like
That's why I didn't go.
had like 2 pretzels the entire day and a
Nice.
bunch of PBR and Liquid Death.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, stay
man.
hydrated in those high winds.
Yeah, but dude, like I gotta do some technical stuff right here. But once we come back, I'll tell you like what happened at the end of the night after leaving. So let me fix this technical issues and we'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
So yeah, at the end of the night, I had bought a 24-hour monorail pass that was going to take me like maybe half a mile away from my room. I go to check it, and it expired already.
No way.
So I'm not taking the monorail because I'm not going to pay another $13 to take it. So I'm checking Uber, and it's like $50, $60 to go 8 minutes.
Of course.
And I'm not going to do that. The last time I took an Uber after a concert was for System of a Down out here in Glen Helen. And we had to walk basically to the freeway just to get a shot to get an Uber. Like it was insane. So I started walking. A mile in, half an hour later, my feet are hurting. Checking Uber, still like $40, $50. I'm like, not doing it, man. I'm not spending that much.
You're burping up the pretzels and PBR.
Yeah. Keep walking. I'm like maybe an hour and a half into walking, and I tap out, man. I couldn't do it anymore. Ended up taking a taxi back to the room.
I would have tapped out at the idea of walking.
I'm like, I could do this. You know, it's like I'm checking my phone. I'm checking like Google Maps. It's like, it's a 2-hour walk. I'm like, yeah, it's nothing. I've been standing all day.
Play some
What
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, Pokemon Go all the way out there. What I didn't take into consideration was that we were leaving at like 3 a.m. My brother-in-law had to be at work starting at 10. So, I didn't know what traffic was going to be like. So I'm like, okay, we'll leave at 3. But the original plan was we were going to go Saturday because my wife didn't end up going.
Right.
So he got her ticket, and it was his first time in Vegas, really cool. So we were going to go Saturday, rest Sunday, and leave at 3 a.m. I would have been rested, not at a 13-hour show, walking 2 hours after.
At midnight.
So I got back around 1 o'clock after I took a taxi, passed out, woke up at 3, hit the road. I had to pull over so many times. It took us like 5 hours to get home.
I don't know if you remember calling me. I was working and you called me. You're like, dude, we're like 30 minutes from home, I'm falling asleep. So I just started bullshitting about my day, about work, basically.
I think you drove out to Bakersfield that day, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I went out to Bakersfield. So I was starting that trip.
Yeah. So, I mean, we made it home. As soon as we got home, I'm like, hey, I got you home in time. He's like, oh, I start at 1 today. I called out. I'm like, so I could have rested a little bit, so.
Yeah.
But the set of the night, man, was hands down 4 Years Strong. 4 Years Strong played a little side stage, and you want to talk about like electric and
Tore it up.
oh my god, dude, it was amazing. It was nonstop. They said what's up, but like just hit after hit after hit after hit, and it was just an experience.
That's what you got to do at a festival, especially something called
When We Were Young.
Yeah.
The only band to really, well, besides Glassjaw, because they haven't really put out anything new, Hawthorne Heights. Hawthorne Heights, they got on the mic and they're, this is When We Were Young, so we're just playing the hits. They played maybe one, he's like, but we got to play our new song that we just released, which was cool. I like it. But they just did the hits, man, and they were the only band to do that.
Nice.
But yeah, it was awesome. Seeing Paramore for the first time, band that influenced my music. Seeing My Chem, band that I found in high school, is just insane. Like, the good definitely outweighs the bad, and I got a nice little refund coming for my tickets, so.
Yeah. And you still got to see the show.
And I still got to see the show. I got to see the show, and it's going to be a nice Christmas for my kids, I guess.
Yeah, get them a little extra present.
Yeah.
A little extra stocking stuffers. That's what I remember about the like those big festivals and stuff. It seems like such a drag at the time, like the whole like walking and standing and everything. But after all is said and done, you're just left with those fucking good memories,
Well,
about,
I'll
like,
tell
when
you.
saw
I'll tell you
these
one
bands.
thing that was. Everybody was comparing it to like Warped Tour, and this was like 100 times better because it wasn't in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
It's still kind of hot. Actually, no. That day, the day before Saturday, when it was super windy, it was like 80, 85 degrees. I don't know what it is Celsius. I'm sorry. But on Sunday, it dropped down to 60.
Nice.
And like when Paramore was playing, it was like 55 degrees. I'm like, I bought camo cargo shorts for this.
Cargo shorts. Yeah.
I'm like,
you wanted to buy those so
Like-
you can fucking crowd kill and
yeah,
shit.
it's hardcore dance.
Disrespect your surround.
Yeah. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna wear my pants. I had to buy a jacket out there because I didn't take a jacket. And yeah, I was prepared. You could see, because for that festival, you could see people leave. They went to the gift shop across the street. They come back wearing like Las Vegas sweaters.
Like Vegas Golden Knights sweaters and shit.
Yeah. Because like the merch lines were like 3 hours long.
Oh God.
And from what I understand, they had one stand with like random band merch, and then 2 other stands with When We Were Young merch, and those lines all day were like 3 hours long.
That blows my mind. Like in the day where we like Postmate, we were like in some industrial park, and we had Postmates bring us these coffees while we set up for the for the pod and everything, and we can like order basically anything we want and get it the next day. Where we're still dealing with merch lines at shows like that, or like beer lines or anything like that,
Yeah. Beer lines were an issue too, but as you walk in, there was like open bars all over the place. Not like, oh, it's free. It's like just
Yeah.
no line, walk up, grab your beer, mixed drink, whatever. Another thing too, like one of the reasons why I didn't eat was because the lines were super long. Like I wanted to get a Danger Dog, bacon wrapped glizzy,
Danger Dog
with some bell peppers and onions and
Yeah.
stuff. I shit you not, it was like an hour and a half wait. And they were just pumping them out too. I'm like, I'll wait till the end.
Yeah, that plus the hour and a half wait you would have needed to for the restroom.
Yeah. That was another thing too. So
You're
I
gambling
had,
in Vegas.
yeah, I had general GA Plus tickets, which meant I have like GA Plus has their own little section where they have air conditioned restrooms, so no super long lines. Well, for Sunday I got general admission, so I had to wait in the long line to get in first, and then like basically fight my way into any restroom I could find. And drinking PBR and LD all day, like got the best of me, man. I had to go in there a couple times.
Just run right through you.
Yeah. So, but like I said, the good outweighs the bad for sure. Definitely an experience. And I'm super excited for next year. A lot more bands. Blink.
Yeah. The triumphant return of Blink 182.
Yeah, it's going to be the second time I see Blink when Tom returns. Like I saw him the first time he came back, and then I saw him with Matt Skiba, and then I'll see him again with Tom. So
Nice.
Super excited about that, and yeah, dude, just experience again.
Yeah.
Hopefully this time with more people, my group.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be 4 of us, and then I was on my own for pretty much the entire day.
Yeah.
Met a couple friends, saw my old guitar player. But I didn't want to be like a 5th, 6th wheel or 7th wheel, like they have their groove. I'm just going to kind of hang out, do my thing.
Yeah. Just take the L. Accept
Yeah.
the fact that your group is no more.
Yeah, exactly. But, one thing too that I noticed is everybody was super nice. I don't know if it's because it was like older crowd, reliving their
it's 'cause
youth.
we're older.
Nobody fighting, nobody, talking shit to each other, like everybody picking each other up, like in the pits and stuff.
Yeah.
Just having a good time, and it was cool. So definitely,
Would recommend 10 out of 10.
yeah, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Whoa.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
High marks. Yeah, you're talking. Maybe I'll go next year if you're if I can find some tickets. You're talking about 60-degree weather. I don't know. Somebody like, oh well, that's Warped Tour's not so bad in the summer. It's nice, get some sun. Big guys like us.
I mean, when Warped Tour was a thing, 2013.
Oh yeah,
Like I wasn't
you were a jock.
Yeah,
I was always a big guy.
Yeah. So, but like
It's still annoying.
yeah, standing in the sun. I thought being in Vegas, the desert, I thought it was going to be super hot. It was super cold. It was excellent weather.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, the colder the better for me for big guys everywhere. But yeah, that's cool. It's probably the first of its kind, right? Like a festival where it's all like just like from top to bottom. You have like what time did Glass Shot play?
They played early. They played like at noon.
Yeah, could you imagine like convincing Glass Shot to play? Oh, sorry, convincing Glass Shot to play at noon is bonkers. If it would have been like 2002, 2003, they would have been like, "Fuck you!" Like,
Well,
here.
I mean, AFI played at
But
like
there was
3.
no band that would have taken that spot just for the exposure.
Yeah.
Because top to bottom, they're just fucking headliners. Like, it was just sets full of bangers all day.
I think like majority of these bands, like, probably go. I know Bayside's going on like a headlining tour. Census Fail's going on. A Day to Remember's wrapping up a tour. I think they just played in LA a couple nights ago. Bring Me the Horizon was just on tour headlining. Paramore headlining. My Chem just finished their tour. Like Vegas was their last show.
Yeah, like what an economy! Like that lineup is just like,
and it's like you definitely have to put on your thinking cap. Like, all right, if I leave like 5 minutes into this band, I get to see this one because there were so many bands.
You're
like
that meme where like all the equations.
Yeah, yeah, just standing there like thinking about it.
Yeah,
because there was bands that I had seen, but a lot that I hadn't. Like for sure, I had just saw Hawthorne Heights with Bayside. I think it was earlier this year or late last year. So like, I always wanted to see Hawthorne Heights, and I got to see them. Well, I had saw them at Warped Tour actually. Now that I think about it, I saw them right before Casey passed away. But Hawthorne Heights was huge for me in high school. I had to see Census Fail. Like I said, my favorite band. I had to see 4 Year Strong. The big guys, Mike Ham, Paramore. But like one band, the Starting Line, I really wanted to see. Glassjaw. Those were at like the top of the list. Like, I'm not missing this. I am kind of bummed I missed All American Rejects, but they were playing at the same time. I think A Day to Remember was playing. So
yeah, that's where that math came in.
Yeah.
Like, all right, how many songs are I hear from these guys?
And then what sucked at the same time, it was Taking Back Sunday playing the main stage, Bayside playing one of the smaller stages, and then 4 Year Strong was playing the small side stage. So I was like left with that dilemma. It's like, all right, 4 Year Strong, no question. But what was cool is like I was able to turn around. I was able to see and hear Taking Back Sunday, saw Bayside and heard them, caught a little bit of their set, so I could say I saw them.
Yeah.
But definitely, like I'm glad I didn't miss 4 Year Strong. I was next to the front of the house, just like leaning on the guardrail because I know it was gonna get crazy, and just singing my little heart out, man. It was amazing.
That's so cool. Yeah. When you mentioned somebody like comparing it to Warped Tour, but it being a lot better than Warped Tour, it just took me back to like like Warped Tour and those bands. A lot of those bands I saw in the side stage.
Yeah.
And it was back when nobody knew those bands. They weren't playing on the radio or anything, but they were like they had that little cult following.
Yeah.
And like people were like, "Oh, what is that?" Like I remember people didn't know the word thrice, which is fucking bizarre. Because when they were on Subsidy, I remember I listened to Identity Crisis and I ordered the CD and I ordered some stickers and a hoodie and stuff. And people would be like, TH Rice? THR Ice? Like they didn't know the word thrice. Like it's an English, it's just like it's just, it's just the word. It's three,
Yeah.
But all these bands like Thursday, The Used.
Oh yeah, I saw The Used
Death
as well.
by Stereo. They were all on like the small stage.
Yeah.
And so like thinking about when we were young, there were no bands that were there to just for the exposure, to play at 11 a.m. to nobody, just
Like-
have their fans show up at 10 so they make sure to get in there to see them because that's the only band they're there for because they love that little tiny band so much,
Well,
or Sugar Cult or
Yeah, I don't want to cut you off, but that's how I met October Drive. I was working at Guitar Center. They came in. They're like, "Come, like, hey, are you going to Warped Tour?" They just happened to ask me. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going." They're buying strings for me. They're like, "We're playing tomorrow. Come by at this time and come check us out." I'm like, "All right, yeah,
Oh, like at the Ernie Ball stage, remember that?
yeah."
Some
Like
friends
it was
played
like
on
a
that stage.
it was
Yeah,
like a
it
bus
was
where
this-
they just opened up the back.
Exactly, yeah.
But dude,
Yeah, it
like
was a little
you're talking
trailer
about
thing.
all these bands on side stage. Devil Wears Prada was playing in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I know like No Bragging Rights was they just followed Warped Tour and passing out their CDs and stuff.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. There were a lot of bands doing that too.
Yeah, just following Warped Tours. The first time I saw A Day to Remember, and I think the first time I saw Bayside was on a side stage, and if I remember, they had like inflatables around it. I think Homesick had just came out for A Day to Remember. And yeah, dude, it was a side stage early, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, they're opening up. And like now look at The Day to Remember,
Yeah.
like they're playing on or they're not anymore, but they had songs on K-Rock, which is like the local rock station for the LA and Orange County. Like if you don't live in California and then you don't know what K-Rock is, it's like the hugest rock station and like alternative music. But A Day to Remember had a song in there. I remember hearing it and like just being proud. I'm like, I was listening to this band a long time ago. Like, this is awesome. So I saw them when they were small, man,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Before they were cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just seeing where these bands are now, and almost every band I saw, like Hawthorne Heights, 20 years, Censusville, 20 years, Paramore, 20 years, Mike Ham, 20 years. Like all these bands have been around for at least 20 years now.
Yeah.
and those 20-year-olds that grew up with them were 40, and I think that's why it was so cool. Like there wasn't a lot of violence, I guess. At least I did see.
Yeah. No, but I mean the scene's always been really, really cool. Sure, it was a little jockey, like maybe early 2000s, like beatdown shows or whatever, or like, yeah, it's just the people getting into like heavy music for the wrong thing, like fucking being shitty in pits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, they don't, it's a fad for them. But for us, we just keep going, once we're 40 years old. We can't keep that ethos, keep in our day-to-day lives, and that's just the way we live. But that was one of my favorite things about being in Wolves, like the hardcore scene, how cool everybody was with each other. Like nobody judged anybody else. Like it was like super chill. Like you could basically do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And as long as you weren't hurting anybody, like nobody was judging even for like fashion or anything. It's just like, yeah, I really like the direction that the scene's going in. Yeah, if I had one gripe with that is with the like when we were young, it's just that. I mean, I know it's that's how it's marketed but it'd be cool to see them have like a little like side stage.
No way,
or a
man.
little parking lot.
No way. No
Just
way.
for the hungry kids.
There was just so many good bands. You wouldn't have time to go see those smaller bands.
Yeah.
Like I know the time. I forgot who was playing, but during the time slot of no, it was Dashboard. Dashboard was playing at the same time.
Oh my God,
Glassjaw was playing.
Holy shit.
So like I turned around to see like the crowd for Glassjaw, and it felt empty. Like there was definitely like a couple hundred people there, but like compared to other people, like for a smaller band, like it'll just be not a waste of time.
Or like satellite shows, the way they did it when Saturday got canceled, and then they just like started putting shows all around the strip. That'd be cool, like having little satellite.
Dude, they
shows.
shut down a couple of those because there was like thousands of people, 150 cap, rooms with 500 people in line. Like that was a mess. I didn't even try to go to one of those, dude. I'm like, as cool as it sounds, like, nah. And then I got my ticket for Sunday. I'm like, all right, cool. We're good. I don't have to go.
Yeah, just stick with the designated plan.
Yeah, which was hang out and drink and watch Midsummer and order pizza, shitty pizza. But
yeah, hell yeah,
dude. Something huge just happened for you recently too.
Yeah.
Really big.
Yeah, speaking of triumphs, another milestone for me. I collected an entire 10 years of sobriety. Thank you. So I can drink now.
Yeah,
no,
dude, it's over.
Let's make these coffees Irish, shall we? No, yeah, it's I actually got sober in 2012. I think that's another reason why I hold Wolf so dear to my heart, because I actually just started practicing with them. And it was just a really fucking dark time for me. But I really liked Wolves, and they needed a drummer. So I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And then at somewhere along that line, like within those couple weeks where we were practicing and stuff, I hit my rock bottom. And I'm getting sober. My first show sober was a Wolf show. And it was just like, it felt so fucking good. That first show, it really, like, afterward, I remember it felt like I had gotten into a fight. Like I was just like ripping into my drums, and it just felt really good to play it, to not need that self-medication, that I was taking on. So I'm a fucking really like nervous, timid person. That's why I play the drums. I'm back there, I'm hitting and the toms and the cymbals and the sticks and everything, and I'm like shaking my head the whole time so nobody can really get a good look at my face. But it's it was one of those things that it was a crutch that I realized I no longer needed, and I realized that while I was playing with Wolves. And so it's just realizing that I can still play the music that I love without it. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And here it is, 10 years. It sounds weird saying that. I was 27 when I got sober, and it's been 10
Quick
years.
math.
I'm 37 now. Quick math. Damn it. I gave it away. You broke the code. So yeah, that's a triumph.
Yeah, dude. Congrats again, man.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
You know, we talked about this a couple days ago. Like, you know, somebody asked, like, oh, you know, because you know, I got him the job. You know, got you the job. And
Like,
somebody,
you know, he's an alcoholic.
no. Like somebody asked, like, oh, so like other coworkers of ours from Vegas are like, they asked him, like, were you guys best friends? Like, and it's like, no, like at the time when I got him the job, you know, we never hung out. We hung out a couple times, you know, and talked on Instagram about movies and comic book heroes, you know, superheroes and stuff, you know, hockey sometimes. And now it's like, dude, yeah, I consider you a really good friend, dude. I see you every day, you know.
Yeah.
I practically hang out with you more than I do my wife and kids. Almost, you know, when we're driving 6 hours a day. So, but I'm really proud of you, man. That's good to hear.
Thank you.
It's really good
Appreciate
to hear.
that.
And yeah, dude, looking forward to the next 10 years. You know, like
yeah, me too. Yeah,
and I know somebody's going to ask, because you can see it in the shot, the pill bottle. Why don't you tell me what's in that pill bottle
God,
there?
you can see it. Yeah. So I became obsessed with jumping spiders. So when we have downtime at these job sites, I carry this pill bottle with me, and it's got Andrew drilled holes on the top. It only had ibuprofen, so don't get any ideas. There wasn't any marijuana in here. But yeah, every once in a while I'll go out and catch real life Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I found a little jumping spider today. It was on one of the we'll just call them units.
Yeah.
A unit that we're moving at
One of our
job
units.
site.
It's a non-sexual unit. But yeah,
Ask me about my unit.
ask me about my spider. What's funny is, like, you know,
It's making a little web in there.
he told me, he's like, I'm terrified of spiders. I have arachnophobia. But that's how I could spot them out so good. I'm like, dude, you're over here trying to catch spiders and buying freaking $60, $80, $100 worth of stuff for one spider.
Yeah.
Like,
They're fun, man. I like the things that scare me, you know.
And that's why we're doing the podcast.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that's a perfect.
You're watching me speak. I'm speaking words, and I'm probably going to watch this at some point. You know what I was thinking when I was thinking about that is like actors that say they never watch their own movies and stuff. I fucking get that, dude. Like the most terrifying thing about doing this podcast and doing a video podcast is that I might have to see this at some point, and I know Andrew's gonna fucking hassle me about, like, why don't you share that on the Instagram? We're trying to promote the podcast, and I'll like cut a little promo with this thing, and it's like I just see my mug talking, and I hear my voice, and I'm just like, oh god, I know I'm just gonna like hit post and then fucking put my phone away and like wait for the 24 hours to go on Instagram before it like disappears or whatever. But yeah, I like the things that scare me. So
Yeah.
here we are.
And so, like, you know, like we said, this is our first podcast. So there is like some things we have to iron out. Like right now, I had a perfect segue just to end the podcast, but kept going. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's all good. No, but I think that's a good time, man. You know, we're almost at an hour. So good, solid first podcast covered. Well, you know, we're both super excited to have you guys with us, and thank you for making it this far. You know, no crazy ad reads yet. I hope. I'm gonna beep that out, dude. So until
It's gonna be like bye beep beep.
Yeah, I'm gonna beep that out.
What did he say?
Until, like, so if you want to guess, shoot us an offer and we'll. No, but dude, this was fun. You know, this is really like the first video podcast I've been a part of, and you know, not take anything away from, but like setting it up myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I'm impressed.
So, you know, I'm super excited to see how this comes out, and you know, once we get over that 10 episode hump, it's gonna be like cakewalk, dude. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Yeah, if you've listened this far, thank you so much. And stay tuned. I'm excited to have people in here, and you get to see some of our old heroes and stuff, and local legends, and see some of your old friends on here talking with us and letting you all know how they've been.
Yeah. We have an Instagram, we have a Twitter, we have a Gmail. You know, you can submit stuff. We're gonna ask you guys a lot, like, who do you guys want to see? All that's going to be down in like the show notes or the description, because I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure, like, I know Instagram's like share the backline. Twitter's like share the backline with no E, because it's like one too many characters.
The Backline.
Yeah, share the backline. But yeah, all that stuff will be posted down below. For sure, follow the Instagram. I know that one is share the backline. I think we both use Instagram the most anyways. There's going to be, all this is going to be on YouTube. You're probably watching on YouTube. And
yeah, if you guys have any ideas of who you might want to have, stories you might want to hear told by those people, let us know on Instagram or Twitter. If you guys have any name suggestions for my new little spood, you can send those over as well. And we'll catch you guys next week. Anything else, Andrew?
No. All right, guys. My camera's set on a 30-minute timer, so we're about to run out. But I want to say thank you again. I love you. From Beardley
and Obi.
Have a great night or day or whatever you're doing. I mean,
yeah, have one of those.
We'll figure this out. We promise. Thanks, guys. See ya.